Do you think the world will end up this way? And how about that way? But there is a worse scenario for our human beings. Epidemic. Throughout the course of history, disease outbreaks have ravaged humanity, sometimes changing the course of history, and at times signaling the end of the entire civilization. According to Wikipedia, an epidemic is the rapid spread of disease to a large number of people in a given population within a short period of time. For example, in meningococcal infections, an attack rate in excess of 15 cases per 100,000 people for 2 consecutive weeks is considered an epidemic.
Since the very last month of 2019 and the beginning of 2020, the world has been shaken by one of the most deadly viruses in the modern life, COVID-19. The virus appears to have originated in Wuhan, a Chinese city about 650 miles south of Beijing that has a population of more than 11 million people. The Hunan Seafood Wholesale Market, which sells fish as well as the panaplines of meat from other animals, including bats, snakes, and pangolins, was implicated in the spread in early January. The very first patient identified had not been exposed to the market, suggesting the virus may have originated elsewhere and been transported to the market, where it was able to thrive or jump from human to animal and back again.
So, why the panic? And what exactly is the difference between influenza and COVID-19?
How do we distinguish COVID-19 from influenza? First, let us mention some similarities. Both COVID-19 and the common flu or viral infections both can spread from person to person through droplets, usually from coughing, sneezing, or talking. They also have similar symptoms such as fever, cough, body achy, fatigue, and in some severe cases, pneumonia. Neither is a bacterial infection, so they can't be treated with antibiotics. Instead, healthcare providers try to lessen symptoms, such as reducing fever. Now, let us move on to the differences. People who had the flu will typically experience symptoms within 1 and 4 days. However, the symptoms for COVID-19 can develop between 1 and 14 days. Secondly, people with flu can pass the virus on before they show any symptoms. A person can also pass the coronavirus even if they had no symptoms. Shortness of breath is a symptom of COVID-19 but is not common with the flu, and a runny nose or nasal congestion can also be a symptom of the flu, but neither are listed as symptoms of COVID-19. Last but not least, the most effective way of preventing the flu is through vaccination. There is currently no vaccine available for the SARS-CoV-2 infection. The virus is novel, and developing vaccine takes time.
This deadly virus had a drastically impact on many aspects of life, especially economic, the most heavily affected sector. A range of industries in Vietnam such as tourism, banking services, and manufacturing like garments, footwear, electricity are under great pressure because of the self-quarantine, enactment, and lack of materials. Education is also affected either. Take Quy Nhon University as an example. Since the studying cancellation put up several times, students have been spent a big amount of money just to travel from their hometown to Quy Nhon at least twice over the last few months. Furthermore, they also have to pay for the dorm fees as well as many others while staying in the city to study for just 3 weeks. For those who want to offer for exchange students program or study overseas in 2020, your plan is completely destroyed by this goddamn virus, because most of the country in this planet have enacted the ban on in-drive for over 3 months to prevent the outbreaking disease in their land. See how horrible the situation is.
As coronavirus continues to spread around the world, how it might affect human beings' lives becomes an increasingly relevant question. Basically, this pandemic also has two faces as any other problems. It is obvious that the virus leaves a negative and comprehensive impact on the economy with devastating consequences far exceeding any previous epidemics. The education also suffers the same crisis when students all around the world have been disrupted by COVID-19. Surprisingly, coronavirus has some unexpected advantages. As the industry stagnates, the ozone layer is healing and the environment is less polluted. And when it is important now that people should be in self-quarantine, it's a chance for people to spend time for themselves and their families. Moreover, the pandemic somehow is when we show up and spread the nationalism, patriotism of the country, because we're always ready to welcome our people who are overseas.
Be responsible.
Be healthy.
Be safe.
Be grateful.
Be fabulous, and make sure to like and share our video. Thank you so much.